everybody, this is Bobby with Bobby Stamps. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the US, and I have a very cute card I'm going to share with you guys today. So here it is. I am going to change this up a little bit. In this one I used the powder pink and then whisper white, but in the card that we're going to make together I'm going to add a second layer of smoky slate and just see if I like that one better. But I'm going to show you guys the new embossing paste that is in the new catalog. This stuff is phenomenal. I can see so many great cards and just so many ideas with that. So we're going to use that, and then we're going to use the smoky slate gingham ribbon, and then smoky slate ink, and then you'll need the smoky slate re-inker because we are going to tint the paste here in a minute. And then you can also get the pattern party decorative masks, and I think there's 4 in this pack when you order it. Show you really quick all of the ones you get. So we're going to use the brick, and then there's a cloud, and then the little like medallions, and then a great big medallion, so that you get all of those in that packet. Let me just grab the brick one back. Okay. And then I already popped out our piece of powder pink and the smoky slate cardstock using the layering ovals. You're also going to need the palette knives. Yep, that's what it's called, palette knives. And I'm just going to grab this one really quick because that's the one that I choose to use. And then the stamps that we're going to use is This Little Piggy. And I am just like obsessed with this stamp set. So we're going to use the one that said she believes she could, so she did. So that's what we're going to do. And if you notice, I stamped that in that corner, so you just do want to be careful when you're doing the masking that with the embossing paste that you leave that enough area down there. And then you will also need the silicone mat. That is what I'm going to put the paste on and the re-inker and get everything started that way. So I'm just going to move the stamp set out of the way. I do want to grab a piece of grid paper to help protect my work surface. Okay, just going to lay that right there. So it does not take a lot of this paste at all. So I'm not going to, I found that out the hard way yesterday and kind of ended up throwing a little bit away, and I don't want to do that because I know I'm going to find myself using this a lot. So I'm just going to put a couple of drips on there, probably 4. I'll just get that, and then you just want to make sure that when you mix this up, you just get it really mixed up really good. That's almost actually too dark, so maybe just a little bit less on the re-inker. I really didn't want it to look black. I want it to look more of the smoky slate color, but I don't want to add more paste to it to lighten it up because I don't want to waste my paste. So I'll just go with this color. And then I always kind of smush that because if you can see, there is a little bit of the paste left on the knife. So you just want to make sure you get all of that off there. And just blend it all in really well. And then we'll just take our piece of Whisper White, and you're just going to lay your mask over top of it. And then just remember, we're going to keep this corner bare so we can stamp the sentiment. So I'm just going to kind of bring it down and then add a little bit more. And then I'm just going to bring it all the way down to that corner. Even over a little bit further. And I'm going to take it over in this corner just a little bit more because I kind of want this whole side of the card. I don't care if that whole side's covered. I just want to make sure that we're leaving room to stamp our sentiment. And then we'll just peel it up like so. And I'm going to move this over here, and then I'll just leave that laid there. I'm going to grab a quick paper towel because I have it on my fingers, and I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. I got that all cleaned up. Now I'm just going to kind of set this stuff aside, and what you can do is just clean that under warm soapy water. That's what I did yesterday. I just used Bath and Body Works hand soap that I have sitting on my sink and cleaned that right up. This does dry pretty quick, but we're just going to move it out of the way for right now. The next thing I'm going to do is we'll bring in our ovals, and I'm going to open up my smoky slate and grab the stamp of the pig flying. It's the one we're going to use. And I'll just go ahead and grab that sentiment while I have it open. And we can put our little pig on the block. And then I'm going to grab my smaller block for the sentiment. And then just make sure I didn't quite have it straight. That looks much better. Okay. So we'll just ink that up in smoky slate, and we're just going to stamp it right down, leave it there for just a second for the ink to soak up, and there you go. And I have a really juicy ink pad, it looks like. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's bubbling, and that's what created those marks there. You can see there's a lot of ink right there, so I kind of inked it up too much. So I'm just going to flip this over and we'll redo it. I'm going to make sure I really get that dried off and maybe not ink up so much, and try it again. There we go. And then I'll bring this piece back in and we'll just ink that up. This way we can just go ahead and get all of our inking out of the way. Okay. Close that up. We'll move that back out of the way. I'm just going to put some snail on the back of this. You could pop it up with a dimensional if you wanted to, but I'm just going to use snail for that. Then I will put dimensionals on the back, and we'll pop this piece up. I am just enjoying the new catalog so much, you guys. I have just played and played and played and played and played with that thing. There's just so many neat stamp sets in there that it's just hard not to. Okay. Then I'm going to go ahead and grab this piece in, and I'm going to show you a little trick. I'm going to take my little piercing tool, and this is the container it came in, and I'm just going to tie the ribbon in a knot like that, and then it won't come off if I don't take the lid off because it's a little bit wider there at the end. And then I'm going to cut this piece, and then I always like to give it one final yank right there to make sure it's tight. And then you can decide if you want your bow on this end. In this card I put it on that end, on the opposite end, but I think I'm going to put it on this end for this card. Just rip that off there a little bit. And I'm going to take just a small piece of tape to hold that on the back. I'm going to flip it around here and make sure I have it pretty much where I want it and it's straight. Don't pull too tight because you don't want it to bow your card at all. And I am going to just trim this up just a bit It's just a little bit too long right there on that edge for my liking. Okay. Then I'm not too sure if this is too dry because camera time I'm not going to wait. But I'm just going to run some snail right there. And that way that'll hold my cardstock. It feels like it's pretty dry. I don't think it's coming off. I don't feel like it's coming off on my hands anyway. And this, you know, with the bricks, that's a technique where you don't want it, I don't want it to be perfect. So the little pieces of white, I actually like that. Just like where it's got a little bit more and a little bit less and it's missed some spots. I really like that. And I'm really liking this card better than my first one. So I'll show you guys. This was the first one with just the Whisper White and Powder Pink. And this is the one with the Smoky Slate. And then I took the bricks all the way up in the corner. So I do like this one, I think, better than my original one. So make sure that you guys visit my blog. It's bobbystamps.blogspot.com. And thanks so much for watching, guys.